Welcome back to another Dragon Ball video, and here's a breakdown of Caulifla's appearances, fights, and highlights both in the manga and in the anime, along with the community's thoughts. This took me like a couple of weeks to finish, and I was planning on trying to combine all three Saiyans, Kaba, Kale, and Kaba together. I understand that's going to take a lot of process, so I might as well do them one by one. And probably I'll do Kale probably after Caulifla, then that, and Caba's the last one. And I might add Caulifla into the mix, because both her and Manga in the anime are entirely different. But out the way, let's begin. So, Caulifla, she is the Universe 6 Saiyan out of Universe 6. And we're going to be going over her manga appearances, fights, and highlights. So, in the manga, establishes Caulifla as a dangerous figure with Planet Sadala's soldiers being nervous in her area. She is shown ordering her gang to steal supplies and defeating a resisting soldier, which solidifies her reputation being a notorious criminal in the manga. So, her meeting Kaba for the first time, Caulifla fights Kaba during her recruitment, where she initially states he would have to make her fight. This is where Kaba in the manga turns Super Saiyan transformation is first revealed to her, creating a sense of mystery around the form. So she gains respect from Kaba after he dominates her, don't get that pun intended, dominates her and commands her to return stolen goods. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Her fight, her main significant battle into the manga is against Frieza in a Tournament of Power. And this is where we're gonna compare both anime and manga. So in the anime, we see her using the Batara earrings once they fight against Goku. But in the manga, after hearing that Kale is the legendary Super Saiyan and she's going to die using that form, she had a plan to fuse with Kale to save Kaba. So in the manga, Kale goes berserk and Kaba sacrifices herself to calm her down and trigger a more powerful transformation, which leads to Batara fusions. As we all know, in the manga, Caulifla stole the Batara earrings in the manga, and making the fusion feel a little bit more forced. But in the anime, they make the fusion as a last resort in the anime. So that is pretty much all I can say about the manga. So if y'all want to reread the manga, y'all can read it yourselves, because I don't want to spoil it too much for the people who haven't watched it. So we're going to move on to the anime now. Okay, so we're going to be going over the anime Caulifla's appearances, fights, and highlights. So her introduction in the anime introduced her as a notorious Saiyan criminal, similar to the manga, and a mob boss. Through the full extent of her criminal activities isn't detailed. So this is going to be controversial, where this is where the controversy kicks in. Unlike the manga, Kaba recruits her and demonstrates her being a Super Saiyan, explaining the back process, leading her to achieve Super Saiyan 1 and briefly Super Saiyan 2 in the manga. And I'm gonna get to that later on. During the Pride Trooper battle, Caulifla is completely outclassed but continues to fight regardless. So her character development, as she accepts Kale's help without being enraged. So, and that pretty much how the fight with the Pride Troopers went. But back to Goku against her multiple battles against them. So she is very excited by adapting to his to her limits to go to Super Saiyan. Her pushing into SSJ2. That, again, I'll go to that later, because that will show controversies. But when her and KO joins in, the fight theme shifts between them. The anime strongly implies how both combined they can, easily overpower him while being in a regular Super Saiyan base, as they push Goku to the wall. But in the anime, as I stated, the manga, they feel forced, but in the anime, they are willingly to choose to fuse. So that is basically both manga Caulifla and anime Caulifla differences. And I read all of you guys' comments, and I perfectly agree. And when Caulifla was introduced, she took the community by storm. I'm not gonna lie, some positive notes. People were excited seeing a legendary Super Saiyan. I meant to say, many people was excited of her becoming the first female Super Saiyan, but her quick mastery of the forms led to mixed reactions, while some fans labeled her as a Mary Sue, while others crowned her as the next Saiyan Queen. And many Dragon Ball fans had their biggest issue with Caulifla's character regarding her recruitment process and rapid power-ups in the anime. So, many explanations for the Super Saiyan transformation was seen undermining how they were supposed to work. So, and I made a community poll, and I said I agree with many comments, what they said on there. Okay, and I read each and every one of your comments, and all I have to say is it is not entirely my control to see how people's opinions, but like I said, there are many people who are like Caulifla, and there are some people who generally downright despise her just how she got her power up. In the manga, no, in the anime, where people despise how she got her power ups, but in the anime, that's where she generally outshines, because that's where we see more of her. How she was basically developed. Because, in my opinion, I'm just gonna read in my comments, and many of you people, I generally I agree with. How did she got her power-ups in the anime? So, let me start off with this comment right here. Caulifla will gain Super Saiyan 1 and Super Saiyan 2 in the tournament as well. Super Saiyan, after seeing Kaba being taken out, she tried to go take on several comments until she saw Kale fight Jiren. She would go and try to stop her, but the fight was too intense, and eventually Kale was blown out of the center column, and she was majorly hurt. Caulifla drags Kale away and feels it was her fault for being too weak, and it disgusts her. From that need and desperation, then she gains Super Saiyan 2 to try and protect Kale. I generally agree with that. And this would definitely gain Caulifla the character development, and that pretty much, solidifies that, she can, protect Kale for getting more stronger. If they would have gone to that direction, many people would kind of still hate her, probably kind of, but she would have got a lot more development. And this last comment saying, Caulifla is just, okay, I do not like her at all, okay? She unlocked Super Saiyan off screen, if I remember correctly, or maybe in a flashback, I might be wrong here. Explaining the explanation of the back tingling is a complete insult on how you need to go to Super Saiyan, go through massive rage. Maybe a bit turmoil too. Like it took Krillin's death by explosion in front of Goku for him to unlock it. How she unlocked Super Saiyan 2, it is the biggest WTF moment in Dragon Ball history in my opinion. Out of the blue, by accident? It is a disrespect of 16's death. His head get crushed in front of Gohan's eyes when he was just 10. This is what took him to unlock it, while the fact Caulifla just unlocked it casually makes my blood boil. She shouldn't be stronger than Kaba, either, as Kaba is at least a constant fighter and most definitely trains. While I don't see Caulifla being much of a trainer before she met Kaba, only using her potential to beat the ones against her, I simply do not like how her character is built and made itself. Remember, these are just opinions and it can be contracted, so please don't hate. Okay, I don't hate. I do not hate. I genuinely agree with it. Like, even though I understood that Universe 6 has their own ways to transform into Super Saiyan, but they could at least explain to Caulifla, okay, how do I write this out? If I was one of the writers, I would have made her going through a training montage before the tournament starts and have her constantly train non-stop by Kaba, and or at least have them at a hyperbolic time chamber, or have Vados put them inside her staff so they could train much as they would like before the tournament starts. And that's what allows her to train in Super Saiyan. That could probably kind of explain how she got the form. And Super Saiyan 2, that is where I'm going to talk about the big controversy. Many people did not like how she turned Super Saiyan 2. And me personally, I did not like it neither. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I generally did not like it how they did. If they would have told her that she would have secretly trained by herself before the tournament starts, then yeah, I would have bought that a lot more. But her unlocking Super Saiyan 2 without an explanation and out the blue, that would I understand why people despise the fact how she got that. But in the manga, they did explain how she turned Super Saiyan. But in the anime, she literally just, like, it's like they try to speed run her development, her training, and her speed for that. But in a way, I generally do not like how they allow her to get Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2 in a short period. And my thoughts about it, it's just that Caulifla is not a bad character, okay? Like she is a very well-written character, but in the manga, but in the anime, she is kinda. But in a way, like, if y'all want to see the best version of Caulifla, then go read the manga, because that is a lot more better. They fleshed out her character a lot more. She's protective of Kale and her well-being, just like in the anime. So, that being said, I think I said enough here. And right now, I'm just gonna focus on my next video projects right now. And that being said, probably expect my character retrospect of Kale probably like a week, like 2 weeks or 3. But in a way, this took me like a couple of weeks to finish, okay? But I just gonna need a lot more time and effort. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know how you guys feel about Kale. I keep saying feeling about Caulifla in the comments below. So that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace and out.